Donald Trump taunts Kim Jong-un by sending an aircraft carrier with a naval strike group near North Korea. Donald Trump stoked up tensions with Kim Jong-un today as he reportedly sent a U.S. Navy carrier strike group steaming towards North Korea. The battle group, including a carrier with dozens of fighter jets and several other warships, is set to arrive next month when it will take part in joint military drills with South Korea and Japan. President Donald Trump ordered the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan to the Korean peninsula earlier this year. U.S. and South Korean jets carried out practice bombing raids in a show of force early today. Advanced F-35B stealth jets dropped live bombs at a firing range in South Korea. South Korean F-15K fighters also took to the skies 3 days after North Korea's latest ballistic missile test. The news, which is sure to inflame tensions with Pyongyang, came as the U.S. Air Force carried out practice bombing raids in a show of force over the Korean peninsula early today. Two B-1B Lancer bombers were seen flying in menacing formation with 4 F-35B stealth jets and 4 South Korean F-15K fighters in a joint military drill. Warplanes released live weapons at a firing range in South Korea, the U.S. Pacific Command said in a statement. The U.S. jets also conducted formation training with Japanese fighters overseas near the southern island of Kyushu. It was a clear signal to Kim after the tyrant unleashed yet another ballistic missile on Friday, which flew across Japan and landed in the Pacific after a flight of some 2,300 miles, proving U.S. territory Guam is within range. U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer bombers based in Guam took part in live-fire exercises in South Korea today. The jets also flew in formation over the Sea of Japan following Kim's ballistic missile test. USS Ronald Reagan, front, and USS Carl Vinson, right rear, were seen sailing side by side in the Sea of Japan along with their carrier strike groups in June. This amazing photograph shows the bridges of the massive supercarriers, with a Japanese vessel in between. The U.S. has not commented on the deployment of the carrier group, which was revealed today by South Korea's defense ministry, which said its Navy will take part in joint exercises with the U.S. aircraft carrier strike group. It did not name the carrier that will take part in drill next month. Earlier this year, 2 carrier strike groups, led by the USS Carl Vinson and USS Ronald Reagan, were seen sailing side by side off North Korea in the biggest show of force since Pyongyang stepped up its missile program. Last night, the USA's ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, warned North Korea will be destroyed if Kim continues with reckless missile tests. An F/A-18E Super Hornet from the Kestrels of Strike Fighter Squadron 137 lands on the flight deck of the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson. The USS Carl Vinson with the guided missile cruiser USS Lake Champlain, the guided missile destroyers USS Michael Murphy and USS Wayne E. Meyer, along with the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyers JS Ashigara and JS Samadare. Ms. Haley said, "We have pretty much exhausted all the things that we can do at the Security Council at this point. If North Korea keeps on with this reckless behavior, if the United States has to defend itself or defend its allies in any way, North Korea will be destroyed. And we all know that. And none of us want that. None of us want war. We're trying every other possibility that we have, but there's a whole lot of military options on the table." Deadly force. How a carrier group strikes fear in the enemy. The carrier strike group is the U.S. Navy's chief weapon in its global projection of power. previously known as carrier battle groups, carrier strike groups, CSGs, are small fleets capable of being deployed in flexible combat operations practically anywhere in the world. The group is led by a supercarrier, whose air wing of 65 to 70 planes and helicopters provide the primary offensive firepower. The carrier is supported by at 1 or 2 missile cruisers, a destroyer squadron of 2 or 3 destroyers or frigates, and 1 or 2 attack submarines. Their principal role is to support and defend the carrier, but they may also take part in offensive operations, such as launching cruise missiles at inland targets. A CSG may also include logistics vessels and a supply ship. In total there could be around 10 warships sailing together, depending on the mission. The U.S. Navy maintains 11 carrier strike groups, each of around 7,500 personnel. 10 are based in the U.S. and 1 have forward deployed to Japan. The Pentagon's plans say that at any time 6 CSGs must be deployed or ready to deploy within 30 days. Russia and China have rejected U.S. calls for them to rein in North Korea, telling Mr. Trump, "You started this, you end it." Kim has threatened nuclear Armageddon on U.S. soil after the nation's 6th and most powerful nuke test on September 3. Mr. Trump has warned Kim will face fire and fury like the world has never seen if he strikes the U.S. or its allies. Amid rising tensions, airlines are said to be avoiding the region over fears panicky North Korea could shoot a passenger jet in an MH17-style atrocity. North Korean TV company KRT appeared to show video of the latest missile launch.